What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a fantastic Liverpool transfer news video because Florian Wirtz, the world-class midfielder from Bayer Leverkusen, has flown by plane to Liverpool to talk with Liverpool's representatives about a potential transfer, and one of the most reliable journalists, David Ornstein, confirms that Liverpool contact Florian Wirtz, representatives, to express interest in the attacker. And this is another news outlet which is claiming that world-class star Florian Wirtz jets off to Liverpool for secret meeting, which is not so secret now that it has come out. But according to a report in the Kicker news outlet, which is a German sports publication, Wirtz even traveled to Liverpool with his representatives, who are his parents, on a private jet to hold talks with Liverpool representatives, to hold a secret meeting as they are calling it. And he missed Bayer Leverkusen training in order to explore the conditions of Liverpool and to see the club's facilities. The German outlet does not reveal how the meeting went, but the fact that Liverpool were willing to go the extra mile to fly him out is a massive statement on Liverpool's intent. And of course, this doesn't mean that Florian Wirtz will 100% sign for Liverpool, because we did something similar with Kylian Mbappe when he was still at Monaco. Jurgen Klopp flew him out to Liverpool and shown Mbappe and his parents around. But it certainly makes it more likely, and it's a very, very ambitious project. Liverpool are rebuilding their team in the summer. Wirtz is probably one of the biggest talents in European football. He's an elite footballer, not just world class, but absolutely elite. Top 5 attacking midfielders in the world right now. And he already has 31 goal contributions this season. And Wirtz is so much more than just scoring goals and getting assists. He does everything. He can play as a false nine, as a left winger, as a right winger, as an attacking midfielder. He can take players on. He can operate in the half spaces. He can provide a great level of intensity on the ball and off the ball, of course. And crucially, he can link up so well with his teammates. He can get great assists, great through balls, great over-the-top through balls, brilliant diagonals. And bringing him in would be a legendary move for Liverpool. But with Bayern Munich and Manchester City also interested in Florian Wirtz, the race is on. And this is the Kicker report translated from German to English for you guys. The next giant is accelerating. Liverpool are also pursuing Wirtz. That's the headline of the Kicker news outlet, and they are saying that Wirtz has now also met with Liverpool FC, and he's just 22 years old. And this third European giant that is now in talks with Wirtz's representatives are Liverpool. And on Tuesday, Wirtz went on a day trip to Liverpool when he was not training in Leverkusen, together with his parents Karin Gross and Hans Wirtz, who are also his advisors. Wirtz flew to the UK, to England, by private jet to assess the conditions on site at a potential new club like Liverpool. And Wirtz is very smart. He's just trying to collect as much information from the clubs who are interested in him as possible, so he can make the best, most informed decision at the time. It's difficult to predict which of these bidders will ultimately win Florian Wirtz's signature, the contract, but the fact that Liverpool are now actively involved in the quest for Wirtz at least increases the likelihood that Leverkusen will actually get their desired transfer fee for Wirtz, which is likely to be in the region of 150 million euros. That's like 125 million pounds, give or take. That is a huge amount of money. But Wirtz, you sign him, and even if he just plays 8 years at your club, you can still sell him on for a similar amount. Just to get 5 years out of Florian Wirtz would be brilliant. So each of these 3 giant clubs, Man City, Bayern Munich and Liverpool, know that they have to assert themselves against 2 other competitors who are at least equal or even superior in some cases in sporting or financial terms. Probably Man City are the richest of the 3, but Bayern Munich and Liverpool are pretty much on the same level when it comes to spending money on players. And some football experts claim that after Xabi Alonso joins Real Madrid, they could even join the race to sign Florian Wirtz, which would be fascinating because Real Madrid have more money than probably any of these clubs. But I'm not sure Xabi Alonso would want to upset his former club Leverkusen to sign Wirtz. And here is the report from David Ornstein and other journalists in the Athletic news outlet that Liverpool contact Wirtz and his representatives. Liverpool's admiration is long-standing. We have been scouting and watching Florian Wirtz for years, and if this emerges as a genuine possibility, then Liverpool would be ready to explore a deal, and that's why they are one of the clubs in touch with Florian Wirtz's camp about the situation. Last season, when Leverkusen won the title unbeaten, Wirtz scored 11 goals and got 12 assists. It's just a 21-year-old player back then, and he was one of the most coveted players after winning the Bundesliga Player of the Season. And this season, Wirtz also scored 10 goals and got 12 assists in the Bundesliga this season, even though he suffered some smaller injuries where he missed a few games. And Wirtz is contracted until 2027, so 2 more years. And the Leverkusen CEO Fernando Caro said that Florian Wirtz has a very high chance of staying at the club, but with these big clubs circling around Florian Wirtz and also Leverkusen losing their manager Xabi Alonso, I don't think they could keep Florian Wirtz. And the German football writer Sebastian Stafford Bloor has analyzed Florian Wirtz as sensational, and there is still some growing to do, he said. Wirtz has been so good for the past 2 years that he's likely worth whatever Leverkusen are asking for him. 150 million euros, pay it. Wirtz is still 21 years old, which seems strange given how long he has been around for, and the fact that with club games and international games combined, he already played over 200 senior games in football, in professional football, and in the last 2 years since recovering from the knee injury that cost him a place in the 2022 World Cup, he has evolved into one of the most destructive playmakers in Europe, who is a brilliant carrier, who can glide past opponents with unsettling ease. He can also provide brilliant, inch-perfect penetrative passes, but watch also what he does off the ball. Wirtz works incredibly hard to find space between the opponent's lines, and as a result it is incredibly difficult to stop him receiving passes and by implication influencing games. There is still some growing to do. He's a scorer of fine goals rather than a truly consistent goal scorer, and he's prone to missing chances. And when opponents man-mark him, as Bayern Munich did in the Champions League last 16, he can find it difficult, of course, to get rid of his marker. Context is important because so much of Leverkusen's football passes through him. And another football expert is saying that if you are Liverpool, in my opinion, you pay whatever you need to sign Florian Wirtz. He has averaged 0.77 goal contributions per 90 minutes in 196 games for Bayer Leverkusen. That's incredible return for someone who just turned 22 years old. He's a special talent. And yet, doing these kind of numbers as a 21-year-old player is just insane. It's really, really special. And you can imagine that he will get even better with age, because at 21, he's hardly, having turned just 22, he's hardly at the peak of his powers. But of course, we have to analyze the transfer strategy behind this, and also what Florian Wirtz and his camp are doing strategically to get the best deal for his client. Because there is an argument to be made that Wirtz is simply using the interest of clubs like Liverpool to extract the most lucrative and favorable deal from Bayern Munich, because maybe he's already thinking about going to Bayern. He just wants Bayern to know that there are other options for him, so he gets the biggest contract from Bayern, which is a smart negotiating tactic from Florian Wirtz's camp. But of course, we already described Wirtz. He's majestic, intelligent, incisive, the kind of player who would thrive in a Liverpool shirt, and he would fit into any system. But the Arne Slot system, I think, suits him the best. Liverpool's midfield now cries out for a genuine creative. With Alexander-Arnold leaving, Liverpool need to add creativity to their team, and especially the midfield. The club has truly not had one creative midfielder since Coutinho left for Barcelona, and Wirtz would represent an immediate and dramatic return to that kind of midfield artist in the Liverpool side. A true number 10, someone who thrives in tight spaces and who unlocks defenses with guile, and his technical ability, of course, is unquestionable. He has great vision and awareness, and Wirtz combines the refinement of a senior pro with the daring of a youngster still discovering how good he really is. So how realistic is it that Liverpool would sign Florian Wirtz? Let's look at that. Bayern Munich, of course, are in the background lurking, just like Manchester City, and Wirtz has long been regarded as the potential heir to the throne of Thomas Müller, because Thomas Müller left Bayern, or is leaving Bayern Munich at the end of the season. He already announced that, and Bayern's interest, of course, is very consistent. With Liverpool's interest may be genuine, it is difficult to escape the suspicion that Florian Wirtz and his advisors are utilizing that interest for their own ends to get the best contract out of Bayern Munich. That's certainly a scenario that could happen. But the allure of Anfield, the noise of the Premier League, and the hunger for another creative linchpin all serve as perfect tools in contract discussions. When a player is on the verge of greatness, of course, flirtation with other foreign clubs sharpens their value at home. So it drives up the transfer fee for Leverkusen, and also it drives up the contract amount for Florian Wirtz himself as well. Wirtz, of course, I'm sure admires Liverpool. He may even have imagined wearing the shirt, standing in front of the cup, receiving the ball. But admiration does not always lead to commitment. This fantasy of Liverpool potentially signing Florian Wirtz, we have to see and wait and see if it materializes. What Liverpool want and what Wirtz wants, it's aligning right now, I think, pretty perfectly, because Liverpool craves tactical variability, squad adaptability and control, and also creativity from midfield. The idea of a midfield trio built around a gifted playmaker fits within this evolution of Arne Slot's new system. It also provides a rich source of excitement for Liverpool fans, who have grown used to functional rather than flamboyant, creative, flair midfielders. Wirtz would undoubtedly change that. His presence would transform matches, opening up space for Salah and enhancing the output of Jota or Gakpo or whoever the Liverpool new number 9 will be. But from a financial and strategic perspective, it is difficult to see Liverpool spending what would be north of £100 million on a player who may view the club as a stepping stone. The FSG model remains one of calculated ambition. They do not invest in short-term brilliance without long-term commitment. And this is the quiet truth about Wirtz. If his heart is already halfway to Munich, then Liverpool's brain will tell them to walk away. But it is just smart business. It aligns with Liverpool's recent history, seeking value and not just the biggest names on the market, targeting the next great player. Wirtz may simply be a few degrees out of alignment with what Liverpool needs right now. But if the money is available and Wirtz would come, then I think this would be a brilliant deal. And even at 120 million pounds, you wouldn't argue signing Florian Wirtz, because he's just that good. He's one of the best players in the world. Only Jamal Musiala and Kevin De Bruyne in his prime would rival what Florian Wirtz could bring to Liverpool. But Liverpool's summer will not be defined by just one signing. It will be defined by the whole summer transfer business, the whole rebuild, and Arne Slot's tactical framework demands flexibility, with players occupying multiple positions during a game, and there is a clear intent to break from the past. So if a creative midfielder arrives, it will be someone capable of doing more than just pass and press. It will be someone with intelligence, positional discipline, and the temperament to be a part of a team in transition. And Wirtz ticks most of those boxes. So let's wait and see what Florian Wirtz's destination is going to be this summer. Yes, Liverpool need a creative midfielder, but they also need a player who wants to write their story here, and not just to use Liverpool to drive up the contract price or the transfer fee. And for all the noise, it feels more like Wirtz is already mentally preparing for the next phase of his career. There is something in this, because why would Florian Wirtz just fly to Liverpool and look around the training ground and the club unless he was seriously interested in signing for Liverpool. He wouldn't need to fly out here to just circle some rumors that Liverpool are interested in him. So that's, I think, another level that we are at right now, and it's getting more and more serious. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinion. And I finally wanted to show you guys what Gary Neville suggested about Trent Alexander-Arnold. That he said, Jamie Carragher just mentioned Trent's brand, and I think there is a point there that I think he does see Liverpool, Real Madrid and Los Angeles. I do think he will end up in America. I think he will do maybe 3 to 5 years at Real Madrid, and then he will go to America, and that's where he sees his life and his career. I think he doesn't just see himself staying in Liverpool. I think he has looked at Jude Bellingham and David Beckham as his role models. Some people like Carragher have stayed in Liverpool and they've had a great career, but some people who have left have also done great. I think Trent will live in America at one point and do different things. So yeah, maybe that's true, but good riddance. Goodbye, Trent. See you later. We need to move on. His reputation is already damaged, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.